My mother just slapped me across the face. My brother walked out. And somewhere in Seoul, 4 men with guns are waiting outside a hotel room to kill them both. I have 60 seconds to decide, do I let Kong-woo handle this his way, with bullets and bodies, or do I try to save them myself and probably die in the process? But before I tell you how we got here, before I tell you what I decided, before I tell you which one of them doesn't make it out alive, you need to understand how 17 minutes at lunch destroyed everything. If you've made it this far into the story, you already know what this channel is about. We don't make content here. We make stories that stay with you. We are a small channel and every subscriber genuinely helps us reach more people who deserve to hear these stories. If that means something to you, we would love to have you with us. Hit subscribe and stay with me because this finale will break you in ways you're not prepared for. 17 minutes. That's how long it took for everything to explode. The lunch started normal. Too normal. Marcus was destroying Samgyeopsal like he hadn't eaten in weeks. Jihyun was making small talk about Seoul tourist spots. Kong-woo was playing the perfect businessman fiancé, charming and safe, and everything a mother would approve of. And me? I was counting down the seconds until everything exploded. Because I knew Marcus. I knew he wouldn't just accept this. Wouldn't just smile and nod and pretend his sister hadn't become someone completely unrecognizable. I just didn't know when he'd strike. Turns out, it took exactly 17 minutes. Marcus set down his chopsticks. Looked across the table at Kong-woo with this expression I'd seen before. The one he got when his brain was processing something it didn't want to believe. So, Kong-woo, he said, voice too casual. Your brother. The one Arya treated. What happened to him? The temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. Kong-woo's jaw clenched. Just once. That tell he had when he was about to say something that couldn't be unsaid. He was shot. Marcus nodded slowly. Accident. No. My stomach twisted. This was it. The moment I'd been dreading. So someone tried to kill him. Yes. Did you find out who? Silence. 3 seconds that felt like hours. Kong-woo's eyes found mine across the table. A question in them. How much do I say? How honest do we get? I gave the tiniest nod. Tell him. He deserves the truth. Yes, Kong-woo said quietly. And I dealt with it. 3 words. That's all it took. I watched my brother's face change. Watched confusion become understanding. Understanding become horror. Horror become something I'd never seen on Marcus's face before. Betrayal. He stood up so fast his chair scraped against the floor. The sound cut through the room like a gunshot. Dealt with it, Marcus repeated. What does that mean? More silence. What does that mean, Arya? I could have lied. One more lie to add to the mountain I'd been building for 8 months. But I was so tired of lying. It means the person who tried to kill Jihyun is no longer a threat to anyone, Kong-woo said before I could answer. Marcus stumbled backward like he'd been shot. His hand found the wall behind him. You killed him. Yes. Oh my God. Marcus's voice cracked. Oh my God, Arya, what? He stopped. Looked at me. Really looked at me like he was seeing me for the first time. You knew. You were there. You. I watched, I said quietly. I knew what he'd done. I knew what Kong-woo was going to do. And I didn't stop it. Jesus Christ. Marcus's hands were shaking. Who are you? That hurt more than anything had hurt in 8 months. More than lying to police. More than watching Park die. More than choosing this life over everything I'd believed in. Because it was my little brother, the kid I'd saved, the reason I'd made every terrible choice, and he was looking at me like I was a stranger. Like I was a monster. I'm your sister, I said, voice breaking. I'm the person who saved your life. By getting involved with a murderer? Kong-woo stood. Slow. Controlled. Dangerous. I suggest you watch your tone. Or what? Marcus's voice was pure anger now. You'll kill me too? Add me to the body count. Marcus, stop. I moved toward him. Don't. He held up his hands like I was contagious. Don't touch me. Don't. His voice broke. Marcus, listen to me. Everything I did to save you. The hospital bills, the treatment, keeping you alive, none of that was free. I made choices. Hard choices. Choices I can't take back. You lied to police, Marcus whispered. Didn't you? That night? when his brother came to your ER. You lied. I nodded. Why? Because if I hadn't, Kong-woo would have killed everyone in that emergency room to protect Ji-hun. And then where would you be? Where would Mom be? I didn't have good options, Marcus. I had terrible options and slightly less terrible options. And I chose the one that kept people alive. Marcus laughed. It was an awful sound. Empty and broken. You saved me by becoming one of them. By getting blood on your hands. He paused. His eyes filled with tears. Was it worth it, Arya? Was my life worth your soul? The question hung in the air like smoke. I couldn't answer. Because I didn't know. Was it worth it? Trading everything I believed in for Marcus's life? Becoming someone my family couldn't recognize? Choosing love over morality? I still don't have an answer to that question. But I know what happened next. Marcus grabbed his backpack. I need air. I need to think. He walked toward the door. Kong-woo didn't stop him. Neither did Ji-hun. They both looked at me, waiting to see if I would. I didn't. I let my brother walk out. The door closed with a soft click that sounded like a gunshot. I stood there in the middle of that perfect penthouse with its perfect view and its perfect life I'd built on lies and blood. Kong-woo came up behind me. Didn't touch me. Just stood close enough that I could feel his presence. He'll come back, Kong-woo said quietly. You don't know that. He's your brother. He loves you. He'll come back. I wanted to believe him. God, I wanted to believe him. That's when I heard it. My phone. Buzzing. For 1 second, one beautiful, stupid second, I thought maybe it was Marcus. Calling to say he was okay. That he just needed time. Then I saw the caller ID. Mom. My hands started shaking before I even answered. Hi, Mom. Arya, baby. Her voice was bright. Excited. Guess where I am? My stomach dropped. Where? Incheon Airport. Surprise. I took vacation time. I couldn't wait any longer to meet your fiancé. I'm in a taxi right now heading to the address you gave me. I'll be there in about an hour. The world tilted sideways. Mom, you're in Seoul? Right now? Yes. Aren't you excited? I get to meet Kong-woo. I get to see where you live. Oh, honey, I'm so happy for you. Kong-woo was reading my expression. His entire body went tense. Mom, that's amazing. I can't wait to see you. Is he there? Can I talk to him? I handed Kong-woo the phone like it was a live grenade. I watched Kong-woo transform. From dangerous crime boss to charming businessman in the space of a heartbeat. Mrs. Williams, he said warmly. I've heard so much about you. Arya talks about you constantly. I could hear my mother's delighted laugh through the phone. Oh, you're making me blush. And please, call me Patricia. Patricia. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person. They chatted for another minute. Light. Easy. Kong-woo playing the role of perfect future son-in-law with the skill of someone who'd been lying his entire life. When he hung up, his expression was grim. This is bad, I said. This is very bad, Kong-woo agreed. Your mother is arriving in 1 hour. Marcus is somewhere in Seoul processing the fact that his sister is engaged to a criminal. And we have no idea if he's going to tell her everything before we can prepare her. Ji-hun appeared from the kitchen. I'll find Marcus. Make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. Like going to the police? I asked. He won't, Ji-hun said confidently. He's angry, but he's not suicidal. He knows what it would mean for you. You don't know that. I know he loves you. That's enough. Ji-hun grabbed his jacket. I'll bring him back. Just keep your mother busy until I do. Then he was gone. Kong-woo turned to me. We need a story. For your mother. Something she'll believe. You want me to lie to her too? I want you to survive this. His voice was gentle but firm. Your mother can't know what I am. Not yet. Not like this. She needs time. Context. We give her the sanitized version today. The truth later. When she's ready. And when will she be ready? Maybe never, Kong-woo said honestly. But at least this way, she won't get hurt trying to save you from a situation she thinks is dangerous. He was right. I hated that he was right. Okay, I said. We lie. What's the story? We spent the next hour crafting the perfect fiction. Kong-woo was a successful businessman. Import/export. Legitimate. Boring even. We met when Ji-hun was injured in a car accident, not a shooting, an accident. I treated him at Seoul General. Kong-woo was grateful. Asked me to be his personal medical consultant for his company. We fell in love over late-night conversations and shared worry over Ji-hun's recovery. It was close enough to the truth to be believable. Far enough from reality to keep my mother safe. We practiced it like lines in a play. Kong-woo's responses. My reactions. How we'd deflect if she asked too many questions. My phone buzzed. A text from Ji-hun. Found Marcus. He's at a bar in Hongdae. Very drunk. Very angry. I'm staying with him. Keep your mother away from here. Perfect. Just perfect. The elevator dinged. My mother stepped out. She looked exactly the same. Same warm smile. Same bright eyes. Same floral dress I'd seen 100 times. Same way of lighting up a room just by being in it. And I was about to lie to her face. Arya. She crossed the penthouse in seconds. Pulled me into a hug that smelled like home, like lavender soap and her favorite perfume, and everything safe and good in the world. I held on too tight. Too long. Like I was trying to memorize this moment before it all fell apart. Let me look at you, Mom said, pulling back. Her hands framed my face. You look beautiful. Happy. Seoul is treating you well. It is, I managed. Lie number 1. Only 300 more to go. Mom turned to Kong-woo. I watched her take him in. The expensive suit. The sharp features. The way he stood, confident, controlled, powerful. For a second, I saw what she saw. Not a criminal. Not a killer. Just a man who clearly cared about her daughter. Kong-woo, she said, extending her hand. I'm Patricia Williams. It's wonderful to finally meet you. He took her hand with perfect courtesy. The pleasure is mine, Patricia. Arya has told me so much about you. All good things, I hope. Only the best. Mom beamed. This place is gorgeous. You have wonderful taste. Thank you. Would you like a tour? I'd love one. I watched Kong-woo lead my mother through the penthouse. Pointing out features. Making small talk. Playing the role perfectly. Too perfectly. And all I could think was, she has no idea. No idea who he really is. What he's done. What I've become by choosing him. The guilt was crushing. Before we go any further, I want to stop and ask you something. What story would you like to see next on Afro Soul Romance Tales? A woman who falls for her kidnapper? A spy who betrays her country for love? A doctor who saves her enemy's life and changes everything? A K-pop idol who falls for someone he can never have? Something completely different? Drop your answer in the comments right now. I read every single one, and the most requested story becomes the next one on this channel. An hour later, we were sitting around the dining table. Mom was charmed. Completely, utterly charmed. Kong-woo had ordered catering, upscale Korean Western fusion. Galbi. Kimchi. Banchan. Wine that probably cost more than my monthly rent back in Atlanta. Everything was going perfectly. Which meant it was about to go horribly wrong. So, Mom said, cutting into her galbi. Tell me how you two met. Here it was. The first real lie. Ji-hun, my brother, was in an accident, Kong-woo said smoothly. Car accident. He was badly hurt. Arya was his nurse at Seoul General. Oh no, Mom said, face full of sympathy. Is he okay now? Fully recovered, Ji-hun called from the living room, where he'd positioned himself to be present but not intrusive. Thanks to your daughter. Mom smiled at me. That proud smile I'd seen my whole life. She's always been like that. Even when she was little, she'd bring home injured birds, stray cats, anything that needed help. She reached over and squeezed my hand. I'm so proud of you, baby. A single tear rolled down my cheek before I could stop it. I quickly wiped it away. Stop, I thought. Please stop being proud of me. I don't deserve it. The conversation flowed. Easy. Natural. Kong-woo answering Mom's questions about his childhood, lies, his education, lies, his business, lies. Then Mom asked the question I'd been dreading. What kind of business are you in, Kong-woo? Everything stopped. The air went still. Even the sound of chopsticks on plates seemed to fade. 3 seconds of silence that felt like 3 hours. Import and export, Kong-woo said. His voice was smooth. Easy. Like he'd rehearsed this answer 1,000 times. Various goods across Asia. It's not very exciting, I'm afraid. Lots of logistics and paperwork. Sounds complicated. It can be. But it allows me to provide for the people I care about. His eyes found mine across the table, including Arya. Mom noticed the look. I watched her face soften. She was melting. You love her, Mom said. Not a question. A statement. More than I thought possible. That part was true. Maybe the only true thing he'd said all night. Mom sighed happily. That's all a mother wants to hear. Dinner continued. More lies. More performance. More guilt twisting in my stomach like a knife. After we cleared the plates, Mom asked if we could talk alone. Just the two of us. We went to the balcony. Seoul stretched out before us, glittering in the evening light. Millions of people living normal lives while I stood there drowning in lies. He's wonderful, Arya, Mom said. Handsome, successful, clearly adores you. She paused. So why do you look like you're about to cry? My defenses crumbled. I'm not. I'm just emotional. Wedding planning, work stress. Arya. Mom took my hands. I've known you for 28 years. I know when something's wrong. She looked at me with those eyes that had always seen through every lie I'd ever told. Are you safe? With him? Because if you're not, if there's something you need to tell me. My mouth opened. The truth was right there. Right on the tip of my tongue. Mom, he's a criminal. Mom, I lied to police. Mom, I've watched people die. Mom, I'm not who you think I am anymore. Then my phone buzzed. I looked down at the screen. A text from Jihan. Found Marcus. He's drunk. Really drunk. And he's talking about calling Mom. Get to the bar. Now. Hyundai. Address attached. My blood turned to ice. What's wrong? Mom asked. Nothing. Just Marcus. He texted. He's out sightseeing. I should probably go check on him. Make sure he's okay. I'll come with you. No. Too loud. Too fast. Mom's expression shifted. Suspicion replacing concern. Arya, what's going on? Nothing, Mom. I promise. Marcus probably had too much soju. You know how he is. I should go make sure he gets back, okay? Then I'm definitely coming. Mom, please. Just stay here. Rest. I'll bring him back. I promise. I was already moving toward the door, grabbing my jacket. My keys. Kong Wu appeared from his study. Read the situation in one glance. I'll drive, he said. We were in the car in under 2 minutes. Speeding through Seoul streets. Kong Wu's jaw was clenched so tight I thought it would crack. If Marcus tells your mother everything. He won't. Arya. He won't, I repeated. But I didn't believe it. My brother was drunk and angry and hurt. And when Marcus got like that, he said things. True things. Things that couldn't be unsaid. We pulled up to the bar in Hongdae. Dark. Loud. The kind of place where people went to forget. I found Marcus exactly where Jihan said he'd be. Drunk. Angry. And on the phone. No, Mom, you don't understand. She's not who you think. I ran across the bar. Grabbed the phone from Marcus's hand. Mom? Hi. Marcus is fine. Little too much soju. I've got him. We'll be home soon. I hung up before she could respond. Marcus looked at me with eyes full of rage and betrayal, and something that looked almost like pity. You can't keep lying to her forever, he slurred. Watch me. I sat down across from Marcus. The table was covered in empty bottles. Soju. Beer. Whatever he could find to numb the pain. You almost told her, I said quietly. You almost told Mom everything. She deserves to know. She deserves to be safe. And if you tell her what Kong Wu is, what I've done, she'll try to save me. She'll go to the police. She'll make it a whole thing. And then people will die, Marcus. Maybe Kong Wu. Maybe his men. Maybe Mom herself if his enemies find out she knows too much. Marcus's drunk anger faded slightly. Reality setting in. How did we get here? He whispered. How did saving my life turn into this? Because life isn't neat, I said. It's messy and complicated, and sometimes there are no good choices. Only less bad ones. We sat there in silence for a long moment. I don't know how to live with this, Arya. Knowing what you did. What he is. I don't either, I admitted. But we figure it out. Together. Or, I paused. Or you go back to Atlanta. Live your life. Forget this ever happened. I won't blame you. Marcus's eyes filled with tears. I can't lose you. You're my sister. You saved my life. But I can't pretend this is okay. I'm not asking you to. I reached across the table. Took his hand. I'm asking you to give me 24 hours. Let Mom leave tomorrow thinking everything's fine. Then, when she's safe in Atlanta, you can hate me all you want. You can cut me out of your life. Whatever you need. Just protect her from this for one more day. Marcus looked at me for a long moment. Then he nodded. 24 hours. Then I'm telling her everything. Deal. We got Marcus back to the penthouse around midnight. Mom was asleep in the guest room. Kong-woo was in his study, making calls, handling whatever crisis had come up while I was gone. Everything was fine. Everything was going to be okay. That's what I thought anyway. I helped Marcus to the guest room. Got him some water. Made sure he was okay. I'm sorry, he said as I was leaving. For calling him a murderer. You weren't wrong, I said quietly. He is a murderer. And so am I, in a way. For watching. For accepting it. For choosing this life. Do you regret it? I thought about it. Really thought about it. No, I said finally. I don't. And maybe that makes me a monster too. Marcus didn't respond. Just closed his eyes. I went to the bedroom I shared with Kong-woo. Exhausted. Emotionally drained. Ready for this day to be over. That's when my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Almost let it go to voicemail. But something, instinct, maybe, or fear, made me pick up. Miss Williams. The voice was male. Korean accent. Broken English. We know who you are. We know where your mother sleeps. If you want her to see morning, you listen very carefully. My blood turned to ice. Who is this? Hong family sends regards. The line went dead. I stood there, phone shaking in my hands, for 3 seconds before my brain caught up to what I'd just heard. Then I ran. Down the hall. To the guest room. Threw the door open. The bed was empty. On the pillow, a note. Went for early walk to Han River. Couldn't sleep. Back soon. Mom. I looked at the clock. 5:47 a.m. Mom had left 30 minutes ago. Right before Kong-woo's security shift started. Right in the window when she was unprotected. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely dial Kong-woo's number. He answered on the first ring. Arya? They have her, I whispered. The Hong family has my mother. If your heart just stopped, good. That's exactly how I felt. Comment if you need a minute to process. Because what happens next, the rescue, the violence, the moment my mother sees exactly who Kong-woo is, it's going to break you the way it broke me. Kong-woo was already dressed. Already armed. Already had a plan. How did he move so fast? Because this was what he did. This was who he was. He was on the phone before I even finished telling him what happened. Rapid Korean. Commands. Orders. The machine of his organization spinning into motion. They took her from the river walk, Kong-woo said, hanging up. Surveillance cameras caught 2 men, black van, heading toward Gangnam. How did you? I've had your family under protection since they arrived. Hidden security. Your mother never knew. I stared at him. You've been watching my mom? I've been keeping her safe. And it worked until she went out early. Before my men's shift started. 5:47 a.m. His fist slammed against the desk. A 30-minute window. That's all they needed. Where is she? They're moving her. We have 3 possible locations. He pulled up a map on his phone. Marked 3 spots with his finger. Warehouse in Mapo. Abandoned hotel in Itaewon. Storage facility in Gangnam. We split up. Cover all 3. No. Kong-woo. If we split up, I can't protect you. And if something happens to you while I'm trying to save your mother. He stopped. Couldn't finish the sentence. Ji-hun burst through the door. Itaewon. They're using the old hotel. My contact confirmed. Kong-woo looked at me. Then at Ji-hun. Then back to the map. We move in 15 minutes. He handed me a bulletproof vest. Put this on. I'm not. Put it on. His voice broke. I can't lose you both today, Arya. I won't survive it. So please, put on the vest. I took it, put it on with shaking hands. Marcus appeared in the doorway. Still drunk but awake. Alert. I'm coming with you. No, I said. She's my mother too. His voice was steady now. Sober. I'm coming. Kong-woo nodded once. Stay behind me. Do exactly what I say. Understood. Understood. We were in the car in under a minute. The drive to Itaewon took 12 minutes. Longest 12 minutes of my life. Nobody spoke. Kong-woo drove with his jaw clenched so tight I was worried he'd crack a tooth. Ji-hun checked weapons in the back seat. Marcus sat next to me, hand gripping mine so hard it hurt. This is my fault, Marcus whispered. What? If I hadn't freaked out, if I just kept it together, Mom never would have come to Seoul. Never would have been here. Never would have. Marcus. Stop. I turned to look at him. This isn't your fault. It's not my fault. It's the Hong family's fault for being monsters. And it's the cost of loving someone like Kong-woo. Kong-woo's hands tightened on the steering wheel. Marcus looked at me. Is it worth it? Still? Even after this? Ask me again when Mom is safe. We pulled up to the abandoned hotel. Everyone stared at the building. Old. Crumbling. The kind of place where screams wouldn't carry and bodies could disappear. There are approximately 12 Hong family soldiers inside, Kong-woo said quietly. They're expecting me. This is a trap. So what do we do? I asked. Kong-woo pulled out his gun. Checked the chamber. We spring it. The hotel lobby was empty. Too empty. Kong-woo held up his hand. Everyone stopped. 5 seconds of complete silence. Then I heard it. Crying. My mother's voice. Muffled. Coming from above. That's her, I whispered. 3rd floor. I know her crying. Kong-woo spoke into his radio. Korean. Quick. Efficient. 3rd floor. All units converge. We moved toward the stairs. Slowly. Each step felt like walking toward my own execution. 2nd floor landing. Empty. 3rd floor landing. Door cracked open. Lights spilling out. Kong-woo held up his hand again. Everyone stopped. He peered through the crack in the door. 6 men. Your mother, tied to chair. 2 exits. They're waiting for us. Ji-hun moved up beside him. On your signal. Kong-woo looked back at me. Last chance. You can wait here. You don't have to see this. She's my mother. I'm going in. Kong-woo nodded. When I breach, you run to your mother. Get her down. Get her out. Don't look back. Understood. Understood. He counted down on his fingers. 3, 2, 1. The door exploded open. Gunfire erupted. Rapid. Deafening. The sound of violence I'd heard before, but never like this. Never this close. Never this personal. Everything moved in slow motion. Kong-woo moving like water. Precise. Lethal. Each shot placed perfectly. 1st man down. 2nd. 3rd. Ji-hun taking out 2 more from the left side of the room. And me. Running toward my mother through the chaos. Mom's face. Terror. Confusion. Hope all mixed together. Arya. I reached her. Hand shaking. Trying to untie the ropes that bound her wrists to the chair. I've got you. I've got you. Just hold still. A gunshot. Close. Too close. I looked up. A man behind me. Gun raised. Pointed directly at my head. Kong-woo appeared from nowhere. His knife flashing in the dim light. The man fell. Kong-woo stood over the body for half a second. Breathing hard. Covered in blood that wasn't his. He looked at me. Making sure I was okay. Then back to the fighting. 30 seconds. That's how long the firefight lasted. 30 seconds of violence so brutal, so efficient, so completely inhuman that when it was over and the silence returned, 6 men were dead. And my mother had watched the entire thing. Mom couldn't speak. Couldn't stop shaking. She just stared at the bodies. At Kong-woo. At the blood. Mom. Mom, look at me. Look at me. She finally did. We need to go. Now. Can you walk? She nodded, but her legs wouldn't work. Kong-woo moved toward us. Mom flinched. He stopped. Patricia, he said quietly. I need to carry you. The police will be here in minutes. We need to leave. Mom just stared at him. You killed them. Yes. All of them. They were going to kill you. To hurt you to get to me. To hurt Arya. I couldn't let that happen. Mom's voice was barely a whisper. You're a monster. Kong Woo's face didn't change. Yes, he said simply. But I'm a monster who just saved your life. He bent down, gently lifted her despite her resistance. Hate me later. Survive now. We moved through the hotel in silence, stepping over bodies, through smoke, past destruction. Marcus walked beside me, his face white, his hands shaking. He'd just watched Kong Woo kill 6 men without hesitation. He'd just seen exactly what I'd been trying to protect him from. We got to the cars. Kong Woo laid Mom in the back seat. She still hadn't said a word. Ji-hun drove. Fast. Professional. Getting us away from the scene before police arrived. I sat in back with Mom. Held her hand. She didn't pull away, but she didn't respond either. Just stared straight ahead at nothing. My mother was in shock. And I had no idea if she'd ever come back from this. Kong Woo brought us to a safe house I didn't even know he owned. Smaller than the penthouse. More secure. Windows that were bulletproof. Doors that were reinforced steel. A place built for survival. Mom sat on the couch. Wrapped in blankets Ji-hun had brought her. Hands wrapped around a cup of water she hadn't touched. She hadn't spoken in 40 minutes. Marcus sat across from her. Also silent. Also processing. I stood by the window, watching the sun rise over Seoul, wondering how everything had gone so wrong so fast. Kong Woo was on the phone. Making arrangements. Cleaning up. Making sure no one else was coming. Finally, Mom spoke. How long? Her voice was hoarse. Broken. I turned around. What? How long have you known what he is? What you've become? I sat down across from her. 8 months. Since the night Ji-hun was shot. Since I lied to police. 8 months of lies. Yes. The job. The penthouse. The engagement. All of it built on violence and crime. Yes. Mom's hands shook as she held the water glass. And you chose this. Knowing what it would cost. Knowing you'd become. She stopped. Couldn't finish. Someone you don't recognize, I said quietly. I know. But Mom, I need you to understand. Marcus was dying. The bills were crushing us. I didn't have good options. I had terrible options and slightly less terrible options. So you chose crime. I chose Marcus's life. Everything else, it just happened. Mom looked across the room at Kong Woo. He was still on the phone, but I knew he was listening. Knew he was ready to intervene if this went too far. And him? Mom asked. That just happened too? No, I said honestly. Him I chose. Deliberately. Knowing exactly what it meant. Mom's face crumpled. I raised you better than this. You raised me to fight for the people I love. That's exactly what I did. Just, not the way you taught me. Mom stood up. Unsteady but determined. I need to go home. Atlanta. Away from this. Mom. I can't stay here, Arya. I can't watch you become more of whatever this is. I can't. Her voice broke. Pack your bags. We're leaving. Tonight. I can't. What? I'm not going home, Mom. This is my home now. Mom stared at me like she'd never seen me before. You're choosing him over your family. I'm choosing myself, I said, standing to face her. For the first time in my life, I'm choosing what I want. Not what you want. Not what Marcus wants. Not what society expects. Me. Silence stretched between us. 2 women who used to understand each other perfectly. Now strangers. Then you're not the daughter I raised, Mom said. That hit like a physical blow. Maybe not, I said. But I'm the daughter who saved Marcus's life. I'm the woman who found love in the darkest place. Mom's hand cracked across my face. The slap echoed through the safe house. Everyone froze. Kong Woo moved forward. Ji-hun caught his arm. Held him back. Marcus made a sound like a wounded animal. Mom stood there, hand shaking, tears streaming down her face. I can't lose you like this, she whispered. I stood there, hand pressed to my burning cheek, and felt something inside me break. Then don't lose me, I said, voice shaking. Accept me. Accept this life. Except that I'm different now, but I'm still your daughter. I don't know if I can. She grabbed her purse. I'm going to the airport. If you change your mind, if you come to your senses, you know where to find me. She walked toward the door. Marcus stood. Mom, wait. Are you coming with me? Marcus looked between Mom and me. Torn. Broken. He couldn't answer. I see, Mom said. She walked out. The door closed. I stood there for 5 seconds after the door closed. Then my legs gave out. Kongwoo caught me before I hit the floor. I lost her, I sobbed into his chest. I lost my mother. No, Kongwoo said, holding me tight. You gave her time. Time to process. To accept. She'll come back. You don't know that. I know she loves you. And love is stronger than fear. She'll come back. But he sounded like he was trying to convince himself as much as me. Marcus sat down beside us. Put his hand on my shoulder. I'm staying, he said quietly. In Seoul. With you. I looked up at him through tears. What? I don't understand this world. I don't like what you've become. But you're my sister. And I'm not losing you too. He paused. Mom will come around. I know she will. She just needs time. And if she doesn't? Marcus squeezed my shoulder. Then we build a new family. Here. Together. Kongwoo's arms tightened around me. And for the first time since that morning, I let myself believe that maybe, just maybe, everything would be okay. Where are you watching from right now? And what's the weather like where you are? Drop your city in the comments. I love knowing where in the world Afro Soul romance tales is reaching people. Every comment means everything to us. The next week was the worst of my life. Mom didn't call. Didn't text. Nothing. Marcus stayed in Seoul. Not because he forgave me. Because he didn't know what else to do. The Hong family was destroyed. Kongwoo made sure of that. Enemies eliminated. Threats neutralized. Peace, if you could call it that. But I'd never felt less peaceful. I'd saved Marcus's life and lost my mother. I'd found love and lost family. I'd chosen myself and paid the cost. Day 8. Still nothing from Mom. Day 12. Silence. Day 19. I stopped checking my phone. 6 weeks passed like that. 6 weeks of silence. 6 weeks of wondering if I'd ever hear her voice again. 6 weeks of planning a wedding that might happen without my mother there. We were getting married anyway. With or without her blessing. With or without anyone's approval. Because I'd come too far to turn back now. I was standing in front of the mirror in my wedding dress when my phone rang. Atlanta area code. My hand shook as I answered. Hello, baby. It's me. A pause. 3 seconds that felt like 3 years. When's the wedding? I picked Mom up from the airport 2 days before the wedding. She walked through arrivals looking older than I remembered. Tired. Like the last 6 weeks had aged her in ways grief couldn't. She stopped in front of me. I'm still angry, she said. I know. I'm still scared for you. I know. And I still think you made a terrible choice. Pause. But you're my daughter. And if this is the life you've chosen, then I have to trust that you know what you're doing. She pulled me into a hug. Even if I don't understand it. Even if it terrifies me. You're still mine. We stood there in the middle of Incheon Airport, both of us crying, while people walked around us living their normal lives. I'm so sorry, Mom, I whispered. For everything. For lying. For the person I became. Don't apologize for saving your brother. Don't apologize for finding love. She pulled back. Looked me in the eye. Just promise me you'll stay as safe as you can in this life. That's all I ask. I promise. She nodded. Now, let's get you married before I change my mind. The morning of the wedding, Mom helped me get dressed. Quiet. Careful. The way she used to when I was little and we had somewhere important to go. She pinned my veil in place with gentle hands. You look beautiful, she said. Even for someone marrying a criminal? Mom gave me a small smile. Even then. Pause. Your father would have had opinions about Kongwoo. Yeah, he would have hated that Kongwoo breaks the law. She turned me to face the mirror. But he would have respected that Kongwoo protects you. That he saved me. That he's willing to die for you. We looked at our reflections together. Past and future standing side by side. And that would have been enough for your father, Mom said softly. So it's enough for me. There was a knock on the door. Marcus stepped in, wearing a suit that Kong Wu had bought him. He looked older than 20. Looked like someone who'd seen things that aged him in ways medical treatment never could. "They're ready for you." He stopped, looked at me in my wedding dress. "You saved my life," he said. "If this is what it cost, I can live with that." "Marcus, I'm staying in Seoul, working with Kong Wu. Nothing illegal, just logistics, business operations. But I'm staying." My eyes widened. "You don't have to. I know. But you're my sister. And I'm not losing you again." He offered his arm. "Ready?" "No," I said honestly. "But let's do it anyway." The ceremony was small, private. Just the people who mattered. Ji-hun stood as best man, fully recovered, looking healthy and whole and genuinely happy for his brother. Kong Wu's men lined the sides of the room, not as guards, but as witnesses. As family. And at the end of the aisle, under an arch of white flowers that must have cost a fortune, Kong Wu waited. He traded his usual black suits for a tuxedo that probably cost more than most people's cars. His hair was perfect. His expression was calm. But his eyes were locked on me like I was the only person in the room. Marcus walked me down the aisle. When we reached Kong Wu, my brother did something I didn't expect. He shook Kong Wu's hand. "Take care of her," Marcus said quietly. "Or I'll learn all your business secrets and destroy you from the inside." Kong Wu almost smiled. I'd expect nothing less. Marcus stepped back. It was just me and Kong Wu and the officiant and the rest of our lives. The officiant cleared his throat. "The couple has prepared their own vows." Kong Wu took my hands. Looked at me with an intensity that still made my breath catch. "Arya Williams," he began. 8 months ago, you lied to police for a man you didn't know. You crossed every line you'd spent your life respecting. You became someone you never thought you'd be." He paused. "You think you lost yourself. That you're someone unrecognizable. But I see you. The real you. The woman who fights for her family with everything she has. Who makes impossible choices and lives with the consequences. Who looks at monsters and sees people worth saving." His voice. "You're not just head of medical for my organization anymore, Arya. You're medical director of Seoul General Hospital. Your old ER. Your colleagues. All of it. Back in your hands." I stood there speechless. "You bought me a hospital. I bought you back your purpose. There's a difference." Tears started streaming down my face again. "Kong Wu, I can't. You gave up your calling to save Marcus. To be with me. I couldn't give you back your old life. But I could give you this. A way to save lives in both worlds." I kissed him. Right there on the balcony with Seoul spread out below us and our wedding reception happening inside. When we broke apart, I was laughing and crying at the same time. "You're insane," I said. "I'm in love." He smiled. Actually smiled. "Rare and real and just for me. And you married me, so what does that make you?" "Insane by association." "I can live with that." Later that night, after the guests had left and Mom had gone back to her hotel and Marcus had stumbled off to the guest room, I stood in our bedroom. Mine and Kong Wu's bedroom. Our bedroom. I looked at the ring on my finger. At the wedding dress hanging on the chair. At the life I'd built. Kong Wu appeared in the doorway. "Coming to bed?" I looked at him. At the man I'd fallen in love with despite every reason not to. At the future stretching out before us, uncertain and dangerous and ours. "Yeah," I said. "I'm coming." Because 8 months ago, I made a choice in a hospital parking garage. I took Kong Wu's hand and entered a world I didn't understand. And tomorrow? Tomorrow I'm going back to my ER. Not as the woman who left, but as medical director. As Kong Wu's wife. As someone who can save lives in both the legal world and the one I never knew existed. They say love makes you do crazy things. Makes you throw away everything you thought you believed for a chance at something real. They're right. 8 months ago, a dying man came into my emergency room. I had a choice, tell the truth to police or save a life. I chose the life. And that choice saved my brother. Led me to a man I should have been running from. Cost me my mother's approval for 6 weeks. And gave me this. A man who sees me completely. A family built from violence and loyalty and impossible choices. A purpose that spans both worlds. Is it perfect? No. Is it safe? Absolutely not. But it's mine. I gave up my certainty about right and wrong. My belief that the world was simple. My old life. And I got this. A husband who would kill for me. A brother who chose to stay. A mother who came back. A hospital where I can make a difference. This is my life now. Complicated. Messy. Dangerous. Perfect. And I wouldn't change a single thing. That's my story. From ER nurse to crime boss's wife to medical director in 8 months. 8 months that changed everything. If you're wondering if I'd make the same choices again, the lie, the love, the life, the answer is yes. Every single time. If this journey moved you, if you felt every choice and every consequence, subscribe to Afro Soul Romance Tales. Hit that notification bell because I have more stories like this coming. Stories about women who choose themselves, who love dangerously, who refuse to apologize for who they've become. Drop a comment telling me, would you have made the same choices? Would you have lied to police? Stayed with Kongwoo? Chosen love over everything you thought you believed? I read every single comment. Your thoughts matter. Your engagement keeps this channel growing and reaching people who need these stories. And if you want more, stories about love that crosses impossible lines, about choices that cost everything and give you everything back, let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here, for watching all 3 parts, for investing in my journey. Until next time, remember, sometimes the right choice looks exactly like the wrong one. And sometimes the man you should run from is the one you can't walk away from. This is Afro Soul Romance Tales, reminding you that love is always worth the risk. See you in the next story.